Now to this days-long stretch of severe weather nationwide. Overnight, at least 9 reported tornadoes tore across the Midwest. The wild weather even delayed the start of the Queen Bee's show in Chicago. That's where NBC's Maggie Vespa is with details.
Hey there from Chicago. It was a chaotic scene inside open air Soldier Field behind me. Video on social media showing those severe storms that rolled through the Midwest overnight, clashing with Beyonce's Cowboy Carter show here in Chicago. She was supposed to take the stage at 7 right when the storms came through, and video shows fans, members of the Beehive, having to take shelter as intense winds, rain, again, roared through the windy city. After several hours, eventually the show did go on. Queen Bee took her stage, and everyone Soldier Field said was safe. They said that was their goal throughout the evening. That being said, in other parts of the country, the destruction was intense. At least 9 reported tornadoes touching down, especially across Minnesota and Wisconsin. Crazy video out of Wisconsin shows kids on a school bus looking out the window, seeing what looks like a pretty clear funnel cloud touching down. We saw several homes and buildings destroyed, particularly in Dodge County, Wisconsin. So cleanup underway there. All of this with that severe heat holding strong in much of the South and parts of the Midwest, at least close to a dozen cities, I should say, breaking daily heat records yesterday. And that heat expected to maintain into the weekend, along with the possibility of more severe storms. Amid all of this, also a bright spot in Minnesota, with firefighters yesterday saying calming winds and just more resources showing up on site are allowing them to gain some ground against those rare wildfires that have been burning in the northern part of that state. They added they're just hoping for rain over the next couple of days so they can keep building on that progress. Maggie Vespa, NBC News, Chicago.
Good news for those folks over in Minnesota, that's for sure. Meteorologist Ginger Jeffries has our weather impact forecast.
On this Friday, I've got a little bit of everything in the forecast. Normal conditions, wind, we've got a cool down, a splash of rain, and then, yep, even triple-digit numbers are making a big-time comeback. So let's talk temps. How about that? 94 today in Chandler, about 93 in Surprise, 95 in Goodyear, and overhead in Phoenix, 95 degrees, which is exactly where we're supposed to be. I call it normal. Westerly winds at about 5 miles an hour and nice clear skies. Tonight, if you're headed out to the game, heads up. Game time is a 6:40. I've got your temperatures in the low 90s, and the roof is open because, yes, we've got a fireworks show afterwards, but it's going to be coming down nice. So, just plan accordingly, stay hydrated, wear cool clothing. You know the drill. I mean, we're desert dwellers. 67 tonight. Tomorrow, a little bit of a change-up starts to develop. We've got winds dropping in the higher elevations. Temperatures, we're still kind of holding close to the normal range. So 66 in Flagstaff, 94 in Phoenix, about 80 in Kingman. But again, the big wind is our big concern, because as the wind picks up, you can see the fire danger levels. We're getting up into the 7s and 8s. So as I track that wind for you, you can kind of see it breathe. For the most part, it's on the northwestern side of the state, transferring over to the eastern side of the state on Sunday as that moisture element is going to roll on through. Now, as far as showers, they're going to be very pocketed, and I'm looking for them to develop Sunday into Monday. Doesn't look like it's going to drop into the metro, but as this low pushes on through, it tightens up the pressure overhead, and that outflow, by definition, is some strong wind. So just be on the ready as far as fire concerns for the region. As far as numbers, yeah, we are feeling an impact from it. Look at this. Daytime highs are falling into the upper 80s by Sunday. That is below the normal range. And then we're marching right back up into the mid-90s and beyond. Yeah, triple digits on the docket for you by Wednesday and Thursday. That's not record territory, but it's a little bit warmer than what we've been accustomed to for the past few weeks. Now, in higher elevations, again, a wind event on Saturday. Not as bad as what we saw over last week, but certainly a concern. And then pockets of rain moving through on Sunday, tapering off on Monday. In Flagstaff, you're going for the 80s next week.